Hello, it's Robert Grant again. Today, I wanted to take a look at the topic solitude. When God created man and woman, after creating man and breathing life into him, he said, "It is not good for man to be alone. I will create a suitable helper for him." In the Bible, it says, God is with you. He would never leave you on your own. With those words, we can feel assured that God's deep down pleased with what you have the chance to become. While that's not shielding us from making wrong choices, God has the determination that none should perish or be lost. Even though, when you think of being alone, it's obviously negative, alone time still greatly benefits us. Good and bad, good from bad, though complex, through the Bible, part of God's masterful handiwork to come to fullness. Throughout the Bible, loneliness has its positives. In the Bible, Jesus says to his disciples, "Come alone with me to a quiet place to get some rest." Through the large crowds Jesus drew, he was often looking for lonely places in which the crowds could stop and think on what was said. Loneliness, while no one's heavenly fate, is used in the Bible to colour the need for living with purpose in this life, with your end in mind and self-control over your soul. A character from the Bible, John the Baptist. John the Baptist was the prophet who prepared the way for the coming of Jesus Christ. As a prophet, you may think he visited different figures of influence, marketplaces, the temple, or leaders, yet when he came, he was a man who wore goat's hair clothing, ate locusts and wild honey, and lived an isolated life within the wilderness. He went into the country, all the country, preaching a baptism of repentance, and so became known. John the Baptist was a man that showed the picture of loneliness and following the masses in a way that humbly standing for greatness, not as greatness, whisked away to a palace, holding audience and sending messengers to the common people. We do well to note John the Baptist, yet in the Bible there are oppressive to solitude, the story of a man possessed by a legion of demons across the lake in the region of the Gadarenes. The demons drove the man to quiet places and among the tombs where he would cut himself with stones and yell at the top of his voice. The townspeople were unable to keep him chained. When he was bound, he would break the chains, and so he lived among the tombs. yet he was in the end healed. In the Bible it says, better to hold your tongue than multiply words among men. And then there's Jesus' birth. When Jesus' mother and father, the mother was expecting to give birth to Jesus, they planned to head to Bethlehem to register for a census. Humbly making their way on a donkey, they ended up being night and Mary about to give birth. They could find no inn to stay in. An inn would provide comfort for a pregnant wife. Yet pushed to their wits, they were shown a stable separate from the inn, most probably not very suitable, yet that was the only option to them. So with no other options, they set up their provisions and belongings, and Mary, the mother of Jesus, gave birth to Jesus in the stable and laid him in a manger or a trough. Humble as it was, something so solitary does hold a light. I'll leave you with these words. Jesus often went to solitary places to pray, yet as we know, solitary places are rife with discoveries in nature shows. A crab, a snake. Thank you for listening.